My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe knows South Lake. Good morning, and welcome to Joe Knows South Lake. I am Joe Carlisle, and today you're going to get to know South Lake. Happy Tuesday. All right, so what are we going to talk about today? Well, today we're going to talk about packaging and men's cologne. That's right. I know it's a little twisted, but as you get to know Joe, you'll learn this is how my weird mind works. We're going to talk a little bit about some serious community events. We're going to do Cup of Joe, and Cup of Joe today is going to be about the longevity of being upset. And finally, we're going to have actually Michael Singh, the principal agent for Singh Insurance and Financial Services with us today on our Business Spotlight. I'm really looking forward to interviewing him. But for now, we're going to have a word from our sponsors, who I absolutely love and appreciate. Talk to you in a minute. Bye.
Purchasing a home? Hi, I'm Mary Rhodes with The Mortgage Firm, your local direct lender for FHA, VA, conventional, and USDA mortgages. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, a seasoned investor, or looking to purchase a vacation home, we can help. Visit our website today for more information.
Welcome to Erica's Tea Room. Located in the heart of downtown Claremont, this specialty tea shop offers a traditional high tea experience that can be enjoyed with family and friends. While here, you can choose from over 100 teas from all over the world, and a multitude of teapots are available for purchase. Join us for lunch or choose from one of our special evening events. Call to make a reservation. Erica's Tea Room, making memories with every cup.
Saturday night, October 5th, Claremont, Florida, get ready as Local Pro Wrestling presents Fight Fest, featuring 6 hard-hitting matches, including the Technical Alchemist, David Mercury, against Aaron Epic. In the semi-main event, a 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal, and former TNA superstar Mr. 630 Jarrell Clark. And the main event for the evening, former WWF WCW superstar, the Cuban Assassin, takes on the marquee Bruce Santee. Adult tickets are $15 and children ages 5 to 12 are only $10. Tickets are available now on Eventbrite. For more details, follow us on Facebook at Local Pro Wrestling or visit localprowrestling.com. Come support Local Pro Wrestling live.
Welcome back. Hey, it was great hearing from our sponsors. You know, I really love them. I just want you to know that you should utilize their services. Mary Rhodes, the mortgage firm, I cannot say enough. Dear friend for many years. Les Allier, Local Pro Wrestling, absolutely fantastic guy. Probably one of my favorite interviews so far. At least one of the most fun. He was great to bounce off of. And Erica from Erica's Tea Room. Look, Erica is also a very amazing businesswoman. And since today's Business Spotlight, I'm going to take half a second to talk about Erica. Look, what she has done in a couple of downtown buildings is just not very typical of what you see in a place like Claremont. She has the tea room. She has events, not just about tea. It's about events. And then she has a retail shop next door. It's some of the most beautiful little items that you can buy, mementos and memorabilia and all sorts of little eclectic stuff. Jay, you've been there. You spent a lot of time at Erica's. Tell us about that.
I love Erica's Tea Room. We are actually in the process of producing, I'm getting a little ahead of myself, Joe. We're releasing some information here, but we are in the process of producing 13 episodes of Erica's Tea Room. They will be our first original series on the network, which will debut on September 26th. It's going to be the Thursday of our grand opening week. And so far, we're 4 episodes deep into our 13-episode season. And we go into all that, Joe. We go into the fact that it is way, way, way more than just a cup of tea. They have the retail shop next door. They host events. The events are all themed. They're all packed. They even do fashion shows, which is a really cool cross promotion between their tea room and the boutique that they have next door. You're going to get to know a lot of the cast of characters that they have working for them, and they are all hilarious, funny individuals. You're going to see that on the show, and I love. I have a very warm spot in my heart for Erica's Tea Room. Her and Lila, which is her mother, they're an amazing team, and they're doing an amazing thing. If you have not been to Erica's Tea Room and Gifts on Montrose, take some time and go down there, make a reservation, bring a couple friends. It's really a special place.
Well, and I believe Erica's is actually open on Sundays during the. No, she's not. All right, take that back. Sorry,
they're off. They're closed on Sundays.
They're closed on Sundays. I take that back. So you'll have to see them at some other time, maybe during Sips and Salsa.
Yes.
Speaking of which, community events. I want to talk about Sips and Salsa coming up this weekend. I want to remind you, 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. We've got. Where is that? Is that at the Victory Point or is that over at?
It's actually going to be downtown at City Hall. So
downtown?
The corner of Montrose and that cross street next to City Hall.
Downtown by City Hall.
It's right, yeah, in between. Basically, it's in between the city center and City Hall, and it's going to be all around that block. So
okay,
if you go
great.
There, we're going to be set up. We're going to be right there on the corner in front of City Hall, next to the Chihuahua races.
Oh, we're styling.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. So stop by, have a couple sips with us. Eat some salsa, like our Facebook page, follow us.
Dance some salsa.
Do some salsa, yes.
Okay. Let me see. We've got that. We've got our ribbon cutting coming up, our big grand opening on the 23rd of September. That happens at 4:30. If you'd like to come on down and join us, meet some of the people from the lineup.
Come check out our tiny studio.
Check out our tiny studio, and
where we're doing big things, Joe.
Doing big things. That's right. Dynamite comes in a very small package.
It's true.
And see, Joe is a big package. Imagine the explosions I make. That's another subject for another day.
Moving on.
Moving on. Switching gears just for a minute. There is a longtime pillar of the community passed away a few weeks ago. His name was Ray Goodgame. A very active advocate for South Lake County and for the city of Claremont. Many, many years on the Claremont City Council. Just a great guy. I did not personally know him, but I know him by reputation, and everybody that speaks of him speaks very highly of him. They're actually renaming the Student Leader Award in his name at the Chamber Breakfast on September 20th. If you'd like tickets to that, reach out to the South Lake Chamber of Commerce. That's at 620 Montrose Street. You can find them online and find their phone number. Also, tomorrow is 9/11. Sad day in our history. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow a little bit and give you maybe a little bit of perspective. But at the Claremont Arts and Recreation Center at 10 a.m., yes, same time as Cup of Joe. Good thing you can see us again at 10 p.m. Is they're having a remembrance service, a memorial service, kind of brings a highlight to all and honors all the first responders that we have here in our community. And actually, Chief Broadway, Claremont Chief of Police, was actually a New York City first responder on 9/11 and helped with the World Trade Center and all of that. So I'm hoping to get him in here someday down the road. Let's see. All right. On to Cup of Joe. I don't know about you guys, but I can have a short fuse sometimes. I don't know. Jay, do you get a short fuse? Does certain things just tick you off all of a sudden, 0 to 60?
0 to 100 in 2.3 seconds, depending on the subject matter. Yeah, we were actually just talking about that this morning. Uh-huh. Joe had to ask, Jay, do you need to take a second? You need to take a break? It's like certain things. You get me.
Now, I spent a lot of years in the restaurant business and the theater business, a lot of other businesses. And, the reality is, and I'm more mature than I was. Well, don't ask my wife that. But to most people, I'm more mature than I was 20 years ago. But, I spent a lot of my life angry. I mean, really angry and upset. And, I had a mentality of, if you made me mad, you were my enemy and I was going to get you back. We see this in politics today, right? I mean, if somebody says one thing out of sorts, they blow it up into some big drama. And I don't know. I've spent a lot of my life as a drama queen. You know, that's not a drag queen. That's a drama queen. There is a difference. That's for my children who are watching. They love to give me a hard time. At any rate, the point that I want to make today is, you know, I do something a little bit different. And the thing that I do a little bit different, I got this from a great book called Vision of Reality, written by a woman named Honore Corder. I'm a self-help junkie, so I know all these books. But it talks about being upset for just deciding when something pisses you off, that you're just going to be upset for a certain amount of time. And I've seen this concept in other books. Let me see. Hal Elrod, who wrote The Miracle Morning. He wrote The Miracle Morning. It just came out with a new book called The Miracle Equation. And he talks about this in there too. Look, if you're going to be upset about something for 5 minutes. What is the thing? You know, some little thing happens. Your coffee got spilled on yourself. Decide you're going to be mad for 3 minutes. And when that 3 minutes is over, move on. Don't carry it. And I love this technique because the truth is, when I look back in my life and I look at all the things that upset me and all the things that like literally drove me crazy, maybe got me into fights, maybe gave me headaches or upset stomachs, all of it, about 95% of it, I can't remember why I was mad. I can remember the consequences from punching somebody in the nose or from mouthing off to a police officer, or, you know, for saying a dumb thing I didn't mean to my wife, but I can't remember why I did it. I mean, obviously I did all those things because I was mad and I wasn't making good choices, but I can't tell you why. So my advice to you, my cup of joe, the cup of joe for today is keep in mind the next time you get mad, is it going to be something you remember in 6 weeks? 6 months? 6 years? If the answer is no, it's probably not worth being upset about at all. At any rate, that's the cup of joe for today. I hope you take that to the bank, and I hope it helps you improve your life today. We are going to go back to hear again from our sponsors. When we come back, we are going to have Michael Singh of the Singh Insurance and Financial Services of Singh. He's the agency principal of Singh Insurance and Financial Services, and I'm really looking forward to it. Michael is a great guy with great energy. He has a lot of passion. I quickly connected with him the first time I met with him because of it. So we'll see you in just a minute.
Purchasing a home? Hi, I'm Mary Rhodes with the Mortgage Firm, your local direct lender for FHA, VA, conventional, and USDA mortgages. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, a seasoned investor, or looking to purchase a vacation home, we can help. Visit our website today for more information.
Welcome to Erica's Tea Room. Located in the heart of downtown Claremont, this specialty tea shop offers a traditional high tea experience that can be enjoyed with family and friends. While here, you can choose from over 100 teas from all over the world, and a multitude of teapots are available for purchase. Join us for lunch or choose from one of our special evening events. Call to make a reservation. Erica's Tea Room, making memories with every cup.
Saturday night, October 5th, Claremont, Florida, get ready as local pro wrestling presents Fight Fest, featuring 6 hard-hitting matches, including the Technical Alchemist, David Mercury, against Aaron Epic. In the semi-main event, a 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal, and former TNA superstar Mr. 630 Jarrell Clark. And the main event for the evening, former WWF WCW superstar, the Cuban Assassin, takes on the marquee Bruce Santee. Adult tickets are $15 and children ages 5 to 12 are only $10. Tickets are available now on Eventbrite. For more details, follow us on Facebook at Local Pro Wrestling or visit localprowrestling.com. Come support local pro wrestling live.
Purchasing a home? Hi, I'm Mary Rhodes with the Mortgage Firm, your local direct lender for FHA, VA, conventional, and USDA mortgages. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, a seasoned investor, or looking to purchase a vacation home, we can help. Visit our website today for more information.
The best things in life aren't items we can grab and hold. They are the moments that grab and hold us. Moments that captivate us, inspire us, and enrich us. Moments that bring joy, strength, and peace. At Singh Insurance and Financial Services, we help you to treasure these times by being there when life's most difficult moments arise. Through our services, you will find independence, flexibility, health, and security that will prosper and protect your life. Whether you are driving that new car, buying that new home, opening that new business, or building a new family, we provide you the peace of mind and freedom to enjoy life's best things. Your next moment is waiting. Are you ready?
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Great to hear from our sponsors. And that last piece you saw was from our guest, Michael Singh of Singh Insurance and Financial Services. I would like to introduce Michael. Thanks for coming, by the way.
Thanks for having me.
This is Michael Singh from Singh Insurance and Financial Services. Michael is the agency principal. Michael is also, one of his passions is Taekwondo. He's a third-degree black belt. He used to teach it. And Michael was also a top producer at an insurance agency for 3 years running, recognized regionally. And I'd just like to say welcome. Thanks for coming, man.
No problem. Thank you for having me, Joe.
Michael, tell us a little bit about Singh Insurance and Financial Services. What do you do? How long have you been here?
Sure. So Singh Insurance and Financial Services is a new company. We've opened up in February of this year. We specialize in personal lines insurance, so you have home insurance, auto insurance, life insurance. We also do commercial insurance, anyone that's maybe opening a business or have been in business for years. We also do some Medicare insurance as well. So right now the focus of the agency is really for the personal lines, which is the home and auto insurance, but we're also breaking into the commercial and shifting over to the financial services sector of things.
So do you do a little bit of all of it? I mean, if somebody came to you right now and said, look, I need my house, my car, I got a business that needs coverage, and while I'm at it, I got this money in the bank I need some help with. Can you cover all of it?
Yeah, we can actually. And it's easier for someone to do business that way instead of having to call. What I'm finding out is that a lot of agencies are not catering to all types of businesses. So you may have to get your home somewhere else, your car somewhere else. You may have to call someone else for their business. What we want to do is we want to have everything in-house. That way you can make one phone call and it's easier for you to talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about. So yes, we can do all of those things.
So give us an idea of, you have the big companies, you see the television ads all the time. Typically they are insured by them. And I understand that you work a little differently, right? I
Sure.
mean, you're not personally underwriting all the insurance.
No.
So explain to me how that happens.
So basically, when you call what we call a captive carrier, so some of the big names like your Geico, your Progressive, those carriers, when we talk about auto insurance, only shop that one.
Why do they call
carrier.
them captive?
Captive because they're only captive. They're captive to that brand. So Progressive, when you call Progressive, you get a Progressive quote. When you call Geico, you get a Geico quote. When you call me, I'll be able to shop numerous carriers for you. Some of the carriers we don't have options to. For example, I don't have Geico, I can't get State Farm, I can't get Allstate, but we do have other nationally recognized names that we can go and sell to. So I'll be able to look at different companies to see which company has a better appetite for your type of risk.
Now, there are some people that would say, and I've gotten this from my field, I'm a realtor, I sell insurance. With Remax Titanium, I'm a realtor in good standing,
Yeah.
full disclosure.
Yeah.
in my field, some people would say that's because I can shop where the best commission is.
Right.
But that's not necessarily true, is it? I mean, do you do that? What's the benefit to the customer of you not being a captive carrier?
I don't have to stick to one policy. In insurance, it's not one policy fits all. When you read your contracts, if we even just talk about homeowners insurance, every different company has their own language, how they have inside of the insurance contract. So it's good to be independent. For me, I can look at all these contracts and say, hey, Joe, this is what we have, but this company is going to offer you X coverages while this company is excluding all of these coverages. Now, those coverages aren't known up front, but me as the agent, I'll take the time out to go through the policies and kind of really advise you, hey, maybe we should go here, versus me having to say, hey, you have to take this company because that's the only option that I have.
So instead of talking me into something that you have, you get to provide what I need.
Absolutely, and that's what we do.
You said something there about contracts, and while neither of us are lawyers, right?
Right.
I know that there are all sorts. My daughter works in the insurance field, and she hears this all the time. People have no idea what's in their contract.
Right.
You hear the horror stories of, either they got in a car accident or something happened to their house, and we're going to talk about a storm, but not Dorian. That's for our loving advisor, Doris, who is sick of Dorian still. So when something like that happens, it's because they weren't aware of their contract. Do you help your people how do you get around that? I mean, obviously you're not just mailing off the contract because it's important to you.
So, I do business a little differently than a lot of people are used to. If you call a person, they'll take your information, they'll match apples to apples, as they call it, and they kind of just try to get it out the door. I won't look at anyone's homeowner's insurance unless I physically have a copy of their declaration pages. More so the policy jacket, which is those 60 pages that no one ever wants to read. But I'll go through that and then offer what I have to offer, because if I'm not doing that, there's no real value into having an insurance agent versus you having or calling a 1-800 number and getting your insurance that way. So that's an advantage, I think, going with someone like an independent agent, which will actually take the time out to read your contract for you.
How often do you do that?
Every time.
Every single
time.
customer you do that.
I don't write anyone's business unless they give me their declaration pages, and if they don't want to do it, they can go somewhere else to get the insurance, because at that point they're price shopping, and if I'm going to beat it on price, there's no value to the insurance agent. But I might say to you, Joe, hey, this is my policy, it's the same price, but I have 50% more coverages. But if I don't have that opportunity, then I'm really fighting someone over price, and it's not the way it's not what our company believes in.
Yeah, I do the same thing as a realtor.
Yeah.
If you want a discount, go talk to somebody else.
Yeah. And it's not that they're not going to pay a lesser cost with me, it's just that it doesn't give me the chance to analyze exactly what they have and to provide professional recommendations. Because I don't really have any standing to base it on, and not every contract is the same. As you mentioned before, people don't know what they're buying. They're not reading that 60-page document. That's what I do for them. Okay,
so that's somebody that comes to you with a contract. Mm-hmm. They're already covered. What about somebody who isn't?
Good point. Someone who isn't, there's a lot of hurdles. I kind of go and take the more educational standpoint with them, kind of send them some documents, say, hey, this is some of the things that you should consider. One of the big things, as Hurricane Dorian is here, and other hurricanes, is flood damage. Right now, we don't have enough data, so we have NFIP, which is the National Flood Insurance Program. They don't have enough data to be able to look at these policies, see how much we should be charging for flood insurance. It's a huge issue happening right now because it's severely underfunded. But a lot of the homeowners policies, actually all homeowners policies, exclude for flood damage. And people need to realize that and be susceptible into getting information about flood insurance.
Tell you what, flood insurance is a whole nother issue.
It is.
And as a realtor, I have a very strong opinion on it. We talk about that. That's a whole nother show.
It is a whole nother show.
Flood insurance, and actually will be, on one of the Homefront shows, we'll actually cover that, because that's very specific to homeowners. Yes. And what covers them and what doesn't cover them, and how they can take care of it. Yep. And how the government has put their fingers into it. But I digress. Yeah. We mentioned the storm, and while we didn't take it on the nose for this one, there have been ones in the past. What can somebody do, coming into hurricane season? Is there stuff what should they be aware of in there? But you just talked about the contract for both their car and I have my own horror stories from shocks of what insurance did and did not cover.
Right.
Which all came down to storm damage.
Right. A couple different things you should consider from a coverage standpoint is a lot of policies, when you read it, they exclude wind-driven rain, okay? So if you have any wind-driven rain that causes damage to the home, depending on your policy language in the contract, it could be excluded. So those are some of the things that I talked about before, where someone will say, hey, I have a better price, but they're not including the wind-driven rain. One of the things too that are, when it gets damaged by hurricane is when you have your screen enclosures. Your screen enclosures, you have to have a specific buyback on the screen enclosure for it to be covered for hurricane, but you're also subject to your 2% deductible. So that's something to take a look at. A lot of people, when they were looking at their 2% deductible, and they're basing the 2% on their total amount for the coverage. So let's say you have a home for $250,000, you're first responsible for the first 2%. And that deductible could be high, over $5,500, $6,000, $6,200, and
it's a chunk of change.
It's a chunk of change,
especially right after a storm.
Yeah, so a lot of people, didn't know about the deductible, but there's other options out there that people should consider. There's companies that are offering deductible installment plans. There's also companies that are offering set deductibles. You can have a set $500 or a set $1,000 deductible. It costs a little bit more, but if you're going to be in a position where you can't come up with $6,000 or $7,000 right away, it may be another option available. One of the other things I wanted to talk about too was fences. If you have a fence, if it gets damaged due to hurricane, some contracts say if it's not the same composition as your primary home, meaning masonry construction for the most part, it's excluded. So that's something to consider. Also, the valuations could be different. They can valuate it on actual cash value, which they give you the depreciated amount, or replacement cost, which they give you what it costs to rebuild.
You mean for the
fence specifically?
So if I spend $10,000 on a fence and we have 160 mile an hour winds and blows that sucker over, because a lot of the good ones, the privacy fence is made of PVC these days. It blows that over. It's not going to pay me the $10,000.
Depends on the company that you're with. So I have companies that will cover that. The fence doesn't matter what material the fence is, and will cover it on replacement cost. Other companies won't cover the fence due to hurricane if it's not the same composition as the main structure of your home. And that's really one of the things you have to look at as well. If you do have a fence, to read the contract, or to have someone like me read your contract to see what's the best option for you.
Okay, now I'm going to take this minute to do another disclosure. While Michael and I are familiar in our fields with contracts, neither of us are lawyers. We are not giving any legal advice. We are just saying it helps to have a professional be able to go through a contract and tell you what you may or may not want to set up and take a look at a little deeper. We said that I wouldn't put you on the spot with claims questions, but I'm sure when something happens, you're probably the first one to call.
Yeah.
Is that the proper action?
It is. Duties after a claim, depending on the type of claim that you're experiencing, you have a certain amount of time to be able to tell the company about that claim. A majority of the companies have a 14-day rule, which basically, if you have any water damage into the home, you have to let the company know within 14 days. If it's after 14 days, there can be some exclusions. Of course, that's not all of the companies. But yes, it's a good idea to call the agent first. Sometimes if the claim is frivolous, and it's something that you don't need to claim, as the agent, I can say, hey, Joe, I think you should file this, or I think you shouldn't file this. But it's a good idea to contact the agent first. Now, if it's something catastrophic, that you need to file a claim, don't call the agent that particular time. But if it's a small fender bender we're talking about, that you're saying, hey, I'm on the verge of, but if your roof blows off your home, definitely call
the 800
insurance
number
agent.
is good enough for the fender bender on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Lastly, I actually was someplace recently, heard a lawyer talk about pictures and video of everything. Do you recommend that? It's just yes or no question.
Yeah, it depends on what we're talking about. So if let's just say we're talking about homeowners insurance contents inside of your home, because that's a question that a lot of people have. Hey, my personal property is covered, but how do I prove that to the insurance company? And that's a challenging question, you know.
Take a video, right?
Take the video, number one. And a lot of people, they'll do like a checklist, you know, like these are my items. They keep receipts of the items.
Yeah, that's
and
right,
it definitely helps the claims process go a little bit smoother. You know, but definitely video would be a good start.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, Michael, we have to wrap up here. I really appreciate you coming on. Very, very informative. What I'd like you to do is to tell the audience how to get in touch with you, how to reach out to you, and maybe you can sit down with them and have a conversation about their policies.
Sure, yeah. So my name is Michael Singh. I own Singh Insurance and Financial Services. Please call my office. The office number is 352-432-1646. And also, if you have an opportunity, you can visit the website at www.singhinsurancegroup.com. Thank you.
Well, that's our time today. I want to say thank you to Michael. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
This.
Thank you.
You know, it's many of you may not understand, but you know, getting people to come on, especially when you're brand new, isn't always the easiest thing, and then coordinating the schedule. So I really appreciate these guys that come out. Young guys like Michael just really warm my heart. So with that said, Joe knows South Lake. Now you know South Lake and Michael Singh, Insurance and Financial Services. I would like to remind you that if you know of anybody that should be a guest on our show, please, please, please reach out to me at onejoeknows@gmail.com. If you know anybody that would like to be an advertiser on our show, a sponsor, an advertiser on the station, we have some amazing deals going on through the end of the year. Please reach out to me. Once again, onejoeknows@gmail.com or j@southlake.tv. Did I say that right? j@southlake.tv. Boy, my memory is coming back. Finally, I'd like to ask you, if you're watching this on any of our social media stations, please like our page on Facebook, like, love, and share. You know how the algorithm works. Help us, help Facebook, help us. With that all said, I am Joe Carlisle. This has been Joe Knows South Lake. I want to remind you that there is greatness inside you. Today, dare to let that greatness out. And I love you. Bye-bye. My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe knows South Lake.